Okay, friends, let's see. I'm trying to figure out how to make myself big, but you guys can do that, right? On yours. Okay. Full screen. Oh, okay. So it's advanced today, whatever that means. Probably. I know. I don't want to do anything too crazy. I was thinking of working on like dancer pose, like this one. So maybe kind of working up to that, perhaps, and getting some nice stretches for the front of our hips. So, if you have a block at home, grab a block, or if you have something you can use as a block, grab whatever that is. And I'm gonna mute y'all's. Mute all. Okay, perfect. And then let's just go ahead and we're gonna start. Sorry, I was kind of rocking. We're gonna start laying down with our block. So kind of like a supported bridge. So with our block underneath our sacrum. And I'm going to take the lowest setting. I would invite you to do the same. If you are using something else as a block, just kind of guess at what feels best. We don't want to push it, so I can take mine all the way up to the highest setting if I really want to, but this is more just to kind of let our bodies relax. So we're not pushing it to our edge. We're getting to a place that feels somewhat sustainable. So I'm going to take my block just to the lowest setting, and if you're like, that does not even feel sustainable to me, and you just want to lay on your back instead, just a neutral spine, totally fine. And then you can stay in the supported bridge or invitation to extend your legs forward. But as you extend your legs forward, I want it to feel like your low back is lengthening. So sometimes I have to kind of scoop myself up a little bit so it feels like my low back gets longer rather than overextending or overarching. So I want to feel like my tailbone is reaching down towards my heels. My low back doesn't hurt. If this hurts your low back at all or starts to hurt your low back, just bring your feet to the ground with your knees bent again. So take a moment and just come to rest here. Close your eyes. And as much as you're able to, just relax your body into the ground. There might be little bits of engagement or little bits of awareness you have to keep to stay in alignment. But for the most part, let yourself relax. Let your fingers relax. Let your face relax. Soften. Let's take 3 great big deep breaths. So next time you inhale, fill up as big as you can. Hold at the top in fullness. And maybe take an extra little sip at the top. When you're ready, open your mouth and sigh it out. Let it go. Ah. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, fill up. Hold at the top. Extra sip if you can. And then let it go, sigh out your mouth. Ah, 1 more, just like that. Great big inhale. Hold. This time, see if you can hold just a little bit longer. And then open your mouth and let it go. Ah. Ujjayi breath. And as you drop into your Ujjayi breath, bring your feet to the ground with your knees bent. Draw your right knee in towards your belly or your chest, and if possible, grab hold at the front of your right shin. If that's too much, back of your right thigh is fine. And then once you've got that, extend your left leg forward and hug your right knee up towards your right armpit. Try to let the back of your left heel relax against the ground. So really let your left leg give into gravity. Hug your right knee in and up. Breathe. Ujjayi breath. So see if you can start to hear your breath now flowing through you. I love how many people there are here today. Thank you for showing up, you guys. And let's take 1 more round. The end of your exhale, bring your left foot to the ground with your knee bent. Extend your right leg straight up towards the ceiling, straight up towards the sky. Flex your toes back, great big inhale. And then keep flexing your toes back and slowly lower your right leg all the way down. Once you feel the back of your heel touch the ground, let your leg just kind of relax, give into gravity. Draw your left knee up, hug the front of your shin or the back of your thigh. Hug your left knee towards your left armpit. So you're intentionally drawing your knee in and up. And let your right leg relax. Let the back of your right heel touch down if at all possible, and just send your breath down. So feel the stretch in the front of your right hip and breathe into it. Take one more huge full body breath. Maybe hug your left knee closer towards your left armpit. Big squeeze. And then slide your right foot back in. So your right foot's on the ground with your knee bent. Hello, Ruby. Extend your left leg straight up. Flex your toes. So take a moment just to press up through your heel. And then you can extend as you lower down, but once your heel hits the ground this time, just slide your foot in so you're back in your supported bridge. Arms down by your sides. Plant your feet firmly and lift your hips up. So now you're in a regular bridge. Move your block or your prop off to the side. Move it out from under you. From here, take your arms straight up towards the sky. One more inhale, hug in with your inner thighs, lift your hips. Keep reaching your arms straight up, roll down super slowly, one vertebra at a time, super slowly. And then once you get to neutral spine, tee out your arms or cactus your arms or whatever works best for you. Bring your feet out to the width of your yoga mat so your feet are wider than your hips. And take some windshield wipers from side to side. And connect to your Ujjayi breath. So if you still haven't quite found your rhythm, use these to help you connect. Inhale through center, exhale to one side. Inhale through center, exhale to the other side. So slowly and intentionally. And then this is going to be a pose that not everybody can do. So I'm going to give you a few options. The first option, it's basically like a half hero's pose. So extend your left leg forward and you're going to bend your right knee, start to walk your right foot back, grab hold of the top of your right foot with your right hand and kind of place your right foot just outside of your hip. Try not to let your knee bow out to the right, but hug in with your inner thighs. Press down through your shoelaces and your toenails. Try to spread your toes. If you're like, this is not going to happen for me, no thank you, my knees don't do that, then you can take instead a supine pigeon pose. Totally fine. And if you just feel like taking a supine pigeon pose instead, totally fine. So wherever you've chosen to be, big deep breaths. If you're in that first variation, focus on reaching your right knee forward and in towards midline. Tone your belly like you're trying to lengthen your low spine and reach your tailbone down towards the bottom of your mat. Keep pressing down through your shoelaces and through your toenails. Keep trying to spread your toes. Take about 3 more breaths. Some people, this is like super natural, and for some people, this is like super uncomfortable. See if you can come out of it slowly, mindfully. Extend both arms overhead and both legs forward. Big full body stretch. As you reach, see if you can press your back ribs down more and find a more neutral spine. Feel that length in your low back, that support that comes from your lowest, deepest abdominals. Press your back ribs towards the ground. Reach, one more inhale. And then exhale, hug both knees towards your belly, gentle rock. And then you choose same thing on the other side. So either a supine pigeon pose or extend your right leg forward and find that quad stretch. So bend your left knee, and you can see I kind of roll over onto my right side to get my foot placed how I want it. Bring your knee, rather than letting it bow out to the left or shoot out to the left, your goal, your intention is to reach it forward and inward towards midline. You want your inner heel, your inner left heel, right outside your outer left butt cheek. And then try to lengthen through your low spine by toning your belly, pressing your back ribs down just like we did in our full body stretch. Wherever you've chosen to be, focus on your breath. Press down through your shoelaces, try to spread your toes. That's what's going to keep your ankle joint and your knee joint safe. So spread your toes, press them towards the ground. Take about 3 more rounds. This is super uncomfortable for me. If I look like it's comfortable, I'm lying. My body is not telling the truth on the outside. I'm in a lot of sensation right here. So if you're uncomfortable, I'm right there with you, I promise. Breathe into it, soften around it. One last round. End of your exhale, slowly, mindfully release your leg. Take that full body stretch again, pressing down through the backs of your ribs as you reach long. You can take your arms overhead. Maybe you just bring fingertips to your shoulders and then reach your elbows up as high as you can. Totally fine. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hug your knees in, rock it out gently from side to side. Make this feel good on your low back. Maybe you even want to throw in a happy baby. And then eventually, let's find our way up to our hands and our knees. So in your next few breaths, you can get there however you want to. Option to rock forward and back if you'd like to. And after a few rocks, just rock up, cross your ankles, roll over your feet, coming onto hands and knees, and then intuitive movement from your hands and your knees. So you guys know the drill, anything goes, anything your body is calling for. So feeling around, using your spacious breaths, your Ujjayi breath. And you can use this to kind of neutralize your spine after all that work we did laying down. Make it feel good for you. Take about, let's say, 3 to 5 more rounds here. And then we'll eventually meet back in downward facing dog. I'm just going to turn around because I like looking out the window. And then once you are back in your down dog, friends, keep feeling around, keep exploring. You want to move through a vinyasa to get back to your down dog, feel free. Once you're in your down dog, really feel into the length from your fingertips all the way up to your sit bones. Bend your knees as much as you need to, as much as feels good in your body. Big deep breaths. Let's take just one more inhale into our down dog. And then as you exhale, look to the front of your mat, however you want to get there, forward fold. So eventually, forward fold, top of your yoga mat, and just hang out for a breath or two. Couple of breaths or so, ragdoll pose. Let your head be heavy, let your face be soft, and focus, again, big deep breaths. So how big can you breathe? How much space can you create with your breath? Next time you inhale, find a halfway lift position. Exhale, bow, and let it go. Let's do that just one more time, halfway lift. And fold, let it go. All the way up, rise, heart leads, arms to the sky, inhale. And exhale, hands to heart center. Flow with your breath. Inhale, high mountain. Slow dive all the way down as you exhale into your fold. Halfway lift, breathe in, lots of length. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back. Inhale at the top of your push-up, spread your fingers, push the ground away. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, down dog. Let's flow for just a moment. Inhale into your down dog, lots of length. Exhale, look forward, step to toe or hop, top of your mat, forward fold. Once you've arrived, spinal extension, inhale. And release, let it go, exhale. From the press of your feet, heart leads all the way up. Inhale, stretch, reach, maybe gaze up. Hands to heart. Exhale. One more time like that. It's our sun A. Inhale, reach. Exhale, dive. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back. See if you can keep that exhale going this time. Lower. Inhale, open your heart, shoulders back and down. Down dog, exhale. Inhale into your dog pose. Exhale, look to the top of your space, step to toe or hop, forward fold. Lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale, fold and bow. Root through your feet, all the way up, arms reach up. Hands to heart, exhale. All right, root down into your right foot, bend your left knee, heel towards your butt, reach your left hand back, grab hold of your foot, and then hug your inner knees towards one another, tone your belly, lengthen your low back. Left shoulder is rolling back and down rather than rolling forward. Roll it back and down. And then if you want to stay here in this quad stretch, right hand comes behind you. Perfectly fine. Otherwise, reach your right arm up. We're not going into dancer yet. This is where we're holding. So hold here, right arm to the sky, or if you want to work it with both hands behind you, I think this is harder, so you're welcome to go there if you'd like. We're just going to hold right here, get this nice stretch. See if you can engage your core, so draw your belly button back and up, and it should bring the stretch more into the front of your hip, just a little tiny bit. Flex your foot or spread your toes in some way to keep your knee safe. So you don't want to feel this in your left knee. Take one more round. And then we're just going to let it go. Left foot to the ground, arms down, shake it up. Do the same thing on the other side. So as you're ready, left foot roots, bend your right knee, reach your right hand back, grab hold of the outer edge of your foot. If you want to grab hold of the inner edge with your left hand, work it from here, go for it. You want to make sure that both shoulders are going back and down, and then tone your belly. Otherwise, left arm to the sky, hold here, and breathe here. Hug in with your inner knees, right shoulder back and down, spread through your right toes. Imagine you're trying to zip a zipper up right through your midline so everything hugs in and gets really tall. Breathe, 2 more deep breaths. Keep spreading your toes to keep it out of your knee. And very end of your next exhale, you can let that go. Nice and easy. Shake it out, shake it out. All right, my friends, arms down by your sides, exhale. And inhale, reach up and stretch. Exhale, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Rolling your shoulders back and down. So we just did this as we were holding our foot, shoulders back and down. See if you can reach your hands back. Take one more inhale here. As you exhale, hinge at your hips, take it down into your fold. Hold in your fold for about 3 to 5 breaths. So breathe deeply and lift your hips high. Lift your knuckles higher. Let your head be heavy. Notice, are you rocking onto the outer edges of your feet? See if you can press into the inner edges as well. So your inner thighs, they want to spiral, or you are trying to spiral them back, wide and apart. That's the action you want to create. Take one more huge inhalation. See if you can lift your knuckles higher. Feel that stretch in the front of your shoulders. Exhale, hands to low back. Release your clasp. Let your arms hang down and you will shake out. Shake your head a little bit. On an inhale, find your halfway lift. And then exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back. Plank position. Inhale at the top, exhale, lower just halfway down. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, halfway down. Come to your knees if you want. Inhale, push back up. Exhale all the way to your belly. All right, so from your belly, zip your legs together. Bring your legs close as you can. Reach your arms back. You can turn your head to one side for now. Exhale all your air out. Then as you inhale, lift everything up. Keep squeezing your legs towards each other. Keep rolling your shoulders back and down. Stay here or maybe interlace your fingers and see if you can use that to lift your heart even higher. Hug in with your inner thighs. Work your inner thighs up towards the ceiling. Take one more great big huge breath. Maybe lift just a tiny bit higher. And then let it go. You rest your head to one side. You can take your knees out nice and wide and then windshield wiper your shins. Breathe down into your low back. Then we'll meet in a tabletop position. All right. Okay, from tabletop, right arm forward, left leg back, spinal balance. And I personally like to tuck my right toes, so your knee that's on the ground, my toes, I tuck them under, and that kind of helps me stabilize a little bit through my shin. So it's up to you, neither is right or wrong. So feel into the length of this pose first. If you want to stay here, totally fine. Otherwise, reach your right arm back, bend your left knee, heel towards your butt. Press down through your left fingertips and lift your heart, look forward. So see if you can use your mid and upper back mobility rather than just your neck mobility. If it is available to you, grab hold of your foot or your ankle. And then once you've got it, kick and pull with gentle leverage, work the pose. Hug in with your inner thighs. Breathe down into your belly. Soften your face wherever you are at personally. One more great big huge breath. And then come back to your spinal balance, end of your exhale. Inhale, reach, lengthen. Exhale, set everything down. Extend your right leg out to the right. Toes face forward. So we're gating our right leg out to the right. And then left arm out to the left. All the way up. Inhale here. Exhale, spread your left arm underneath you. Come down to rest. Nice and easy, gently. On the outside of your left shoulder. Outside of your head. Take some big, deep, intentional breaths. Take about 3 more rounds. And then if you do happen to have your right hand lifted, set it back down. On an inhale, unthread your left arm, reach it out and up. And then exhale, set your left hand down. Pick up your right foot and swing your right toes off the left side of your mat. Pull your hips to the right just a bit. Gaze back over your left shoulder. Your toes don't have to come off the side of your mat, but just reach them over to the left as far as you can, or as far as feels right or efficient in your body. So make it work for you. Take one last round. And then back to center tabletop. Let's take it back to downward facing dog. Ujjayi breath. Inhale, right leg high. And open your right hip. Bend your knee, reach it out and up. Flex your right toes. Keep pressing firmly through both of your hands. So you're using the mobility in your right hip to open up. Take one more inhale. Exhale, right knee to your nose. Scoop back your belly. Push the ground away. Step forward. Bring your hands up to your front thigh. And just kind of find your balance here. Lean forward a little bit. Hug in with your inner thigh. So pull your front hip back. And then from here, we're going to go into a balance. Root into your front foot. Back foot floats off the ground. You can keep your hands on your front thigh or reach your arms back. Lift your heart. So roll your shoulders back and down. Use your mid and upper back mobility. Lift your heart. See if you can just bend and straighten your left leg a few times really intentionally. Flex your toes, bend and straighten. Keep your hips square if possible. So your left hip faces the ground. Bend your standing leg if it's helpful. Just have fun with it. Be compassionate, be playful. Let's come back to crescent lunge or warrior one, you choose. So land as softly as you can. Take a moment to adjust. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to the ground. Take your right leg back and up, three-legged down dog, open your right hip. Stay here, or option to flip your dog, right foot comes down behind you, right arm reaches forward, heart forward. So if you're in the back bend with me, a couple more rounds. If you're holding with your hip open, feel free to explore, maybe circle out your right knee. And then everybody, regular down dog eventually, just walk it out. You can either just set your knees down and sit back into child's pose, or take a vinyasa to get there. Inhale, forward, high plank. Exhale, lower. Heart lifts as you breathe in. And then child's pose, sit back and rest. Maybe an embryo pose, your hands can reach back to grab your heels, or just towards your heels, palms face the sky. Breathe. Slow, deep breaths. If you need a couple open mouth sighs, go for it. Take them. You might turn your head one direction and then the other direction. Let's meet up on our hands and our knees, tabletop. From tabletop, this time, we'll go left arm forward, right leg back, long, strong, powerful line. So find that long, strong, powerful line first. Hug in with your inner thighs, square hips. Stay here if you want, or left arm reaches back. Bend your right knee, heel towards your butt. Push down through your right fingertips. Lift your heart. Feel the mobility in your mid and your upper back. Great place to stay, or grab hold of your foot or your ankle. Hug in with your inner thighs and work your pose with gentle leverage. So kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot. Inner thighs hug in to stay out of your low back. Soften your face. See if you can spread your toes. One more huge breath. Slowly let it go. Come back to that spinal balance. One inhale there, nice and long, neutral spine, and then set everything down, tabletop. Left leg out to the left, toes face forward. Right arm out to the right. Inhale, reach your right arm up. And exhale, thread it through. Gently rest down outside of your shoulder. Outside of your head. Big deep breath. Okay. If your left hand is lifted, set it back down. On an inhale, untread your right arm, reach it out and up. Open up. And then right hand comes down. Pick up your left foot and swing your left leg off the right side of your mat or over towards the right long edge of your mat. Pull your hips a bit to the left, gaze back over your right shoulder. Try to look back at your toes. Lengthen through your left side. Work it however you want to, kind of lean into it, round, arch, rock forward or back. One last breath. And then back to your tabletop. And then back to your downward facing dog. Good job, everybody. All right, from your dog pose, inhale your left leg high. Heel your left hip open, so bend your knee, reach it out and up. Hug in with your right inner thigh as you open your left hip. Keep pressing down through both hands, all of your fingertips. One more inhale. Exhale, left knee to your nose. Scoop out your belly and soft as you can, step forward. Bring your hands up to your front thigh. Find your center, inner thighs hug in, belly button draws back and up. As you are ready, lean forward and back foot floats up. So if you want to stay here, please feel free. Otherwise, keep your hips square. Reach your arms back, lift your heart, not your head, but your heart. So use mid and upper back mobility. See if you can bend and straighten your right leg a few times without anything else moving. Flex your toes, heel to butt, and then extend. Heel to butt, and then extend. Breathe. Intentional movement, one or two more. We'll come back into crescent, or if you prefer warrior one is fine. Take a moment to settle. To lengthen through your upper body, lift your heart high. One more inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. Three-legged dog, take your left leg up and back. Open your hip once again. And then stay here if you want. Or option to flip your dog. Left foot comes down behind you. Reach forward. If you're in that position with your hip open, feel free to explore, maybe circle out your left knee. Feels good. One more big deep breath wherever you're at. And then meet me in a down dog. Walk out your dog for a moment. Find your breath. You can take a vinyasa to get to child's pose or just lower your knees and sit back. Child's pose. Embryo pose is welcome also. Any resting position is welcome. And let's find our way in our next couple of rounds to downward facing dog. One more great big inhale into your down dog. Exhale, look to the top of your space, step tiptoe or hop forward, fold. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, fold and bow. Root through your feet all the way up, rise, arms to the sky. Hands to heart, exhale. All right, let's do this. So left foot is your base, bend your right knee, heel towards your butt. Reach your right hand back, grab hold of your foot, hug in with your inner knees. Stay here or grab your right foot with your left hand if you want, and this is your pose. Otherwise, we're working towards our full dancer. Left arm to the sky. Bring your right hand, the hand that's holding your foot, to the inner edge of your foot. Feel your right shoulder peeling open so it's rolling back and down. Maybe you've got your little shock absorbers in your standing leg, bend your knee. Start to hinge at your left hip as you work the pose by kicking foot into hand, pulling hand back into foot. Lift your heart. Use your mid and upper back mobility. Breathe. Soften your face. Spread your toes. 2 more rounds. Your pose, your fullest expression in this moment. And then see if you can slowly come back to just a standing position. Shake it out. Shake it out, shake it out. Okay, let's do the other side. So find stillness, strong foundation through your right foot, left knee bends, heel towards your left butt cheek, reach your left hand back, grab hold, and then find midline again, hug in like you're zipping up that zipper. Bring, so you can stay here and hold here or right arm to the sky. Bring your left hand to the inside edge of your left foot. And then find your shock absorbers in your standing legs. Start to hinge at your right hip. As you're hinging, you're kicking foot into hand, pulling hand back into foot. Lift your heart. Breathe. Hug in with your inner thighs. Soften your face. Spread your toes. 2 more rounds. Your personal fullest expression in this moment. Come out slowly. Mountain pose, just shake it out. Ooh. And then when you're ready, find stillness. Arms down by your sides. And just ujjayi. So take a moment to feel all that energy just flowing through your body. Let it flow out your fingers, out your toes, out the crown of your head. Your big deep breaths. So reconnect to ujjayi. Inhale your arms to the sky. Exhale, take your swan dive down. Breathe into your halfway lift. And exhale, plant your hands, feet back, vinyasa, however you would like, or you can always skip it. Downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg to the sky. Pigeon pose, right shin to the top of your mat, set your body down. If you want to use your block in any way, maybe under your right butt cheek or to rest your head on, your forehead. If you want to take this in a seat or on your back, please feel free. Spread through your front toes. Take about 5 more breaths. You'd like last big breath or 2, side up your mouth. And then we'll slowly transition back to down dog. So you can do it your own way. I'm just gonna lift my upper body, plant my hands, tuck my back toes, take my right leg back enough, give it a nice little shake out. And then eventually just walk it out in my down dog. So you do you, whatever feels good. If you want to move through a vinyasa before we take the other side, please feel free. Inhale your left leg to the sky. And as you're ready, left shin forward, pigeon pose on the left side. And if you'd rather take it on your back or in a seat on this side, of course, choice is always yours. Take your time to settle in, breath by breath, soften around the structure you create. So feel as if your left butt cheek is working back and up, like there's a rope attached to your left butt cheek, pulling back and up. You don't want to feel like all your weight is collapsing forward. You want to feel like it's being pulled back and up. Spread your left toes. Take about 3 to 5 more big deep breaths on this side. A couple rounds, side out your mouth if you want. And then let's slowly start to find our way back to one final down dog. So however you want to get there, whatever movements you want to take to neutralize. One last vinyasa if you want it. And then in your next couple breaths or so, friends, find your way into a seated position. And let's take Janu Sirsasana. So left leg extends forward. Sole of your right foot to your left inner thigh. And today we're going to square our hips towards our extended leg. So kind of move your hips around however you need to. I like to take my left inner thigh, spiral it down and out. So it's like you're moving your butt cheek out of the way. Flex your left toes back towards your shin. Press your foot into your thigh. Thigh back into your foot. Sit up tall. This might feel like enough for you, and you can stay right here. Otherwise, arms to the sky. Inhale. As you exhale, like you're swan diving, lead with your heart hinge at your hips. Bring your hands to grab wherever you can. And then just relax into it breath by breath. Keep your toes facing straight up. Don't let them roll out to the side. So keep working your left inner thigh down and out. You can see I got my left hand kind of out to my side and behind me to help myself fold forward a little bit. Pull your left butt cheek back as you take your heart forward, and then use your breath. The intention, you want to engage through your left quad muscle, the front of your thigh, and try to press down through the back of your thigh and the back of your heel. Take 2 more big deep breaths, working your fold. And then at the bottom of your next exhale, just roll up. So no rush, just roll up slowly. And once you are Sitting up tall, your head is stacked. Turn over your right shoulder and bring your right hand to the ground behind you. Spread your fingers. Push into the ground, lift your heart, reach your left arm up. You can stay here or push into the ground with your left heel, lift your hips. Reach your left arm back and find lots of length and space. Modified side plank or modified wild thing. Either variation is welcome. One more great big huge breath, maybe even a lion's breath. Exhale, stick out your tongue, cross your eyes, make noise. And then come on back down. Take both legs out in front of you. Give them a nice little shake out. And then we'll set up on the other side. So left foot to your right inner thigh and take your right inner thigh. Spiral it down and out. Come onto your right sit bone. So trying to square your hips as much as you're able to towards your extended leg. Flex your toes, press down through the back of your heel. When you press down through your heel, you get a little bend in your knee. That's what we want for right now. Sit up tall. And if you want to stay here, work on sitting up tall here. Perfect. Hug towards midline. There's a lot of work you can do just sitting. Otherwise, arms reach up, inhale. And then exhale, work into your fold. So heart reaches forward, right butt cheek pulls back, and then let it go. Breathe. Use your breath. Soften with each exhale. So whatever your personal edges may be, feel into that resistance, feel into that tension wherever you hold it, and relax around it a little bit with each exhalation. Take open mouth sighs if it's helpful. A couple more. Now we're trying to press down through the back of our right thigh as well. Keep pressing through the back of your right heel. Bottom of your next exhale, just slowly roll it up. Head is the very last thing to lift. Once your head stacks, turn over your left shoulder, left hand to the ground behind you. Spread your fingers. Reach your right arm up, puff up your chest. You can stay here if you want. Otherwise, you gotta know. Lift your hips. Modified side plank or modified wild thing, just going for lots of length and space. Big, spacious breaths. 2 more. If you want to give yourself that lion's breath of an exhale, go for it. Bring your sit bones back to the ground. This time all the way onto your back. Once you are down on your back, hug your knees in, rock gently side to side. And then find a happy baby pose. So one more opportunity to open through the front of your hips and just your entire really front body. And I'm going to give you guys options. So first option is a supported bridge, just like we did at the beginning of our practice. Maybe you want to take your block higher this time. You can either hold in a supported bridge or work your supported bridge any way you want to. If you want to take regular bridge is your pose. Go for it. If you want to take a full back bend, upward facing bow, you're more than welcome to. I'm not there with you, and this upward facing bow is it is an advanced pose. So don't force anything. If you want, you can bring your hands to both sides of your ears, fingertips facing towards your shoulders. Feet might be a little wider than your hips, but not too much wider. And then as you're ready, you can push up onto the crown of your head and really focus on pressing your heart back as you lift up. So you're pushing your hands, lift up. You want to push your heart back, away from your feet. So working it through your mid and your upper back as much as you're able to. Press down through thumbs and index fingers. Soften your face wherever you're at. Hug in with your inner thighs. Take about 2 or 3 more rounds in your pose. I used to do these so often. I hardly ever do full back bends. This feels so hard. All right. And then as you're ready, come out really mindfully. So I'm just going to say however that looks for you. Maybe you come back into a bridge and then slowly lower. Just do it mindfully, intentionally. Once you come out of your heart opener, no rush if you want to take more time. Windshield wipers, so feet nice and wide. Take it side to side. Arms out wide or cactus position. And then eventually just let your knees fall to the right and keep them there for about 3 to 5 breaths. Option to bring the outer edge of your right foot to the outside of your left knee. And use that to encourage your left knee forward and down. And then just on your own, I'll leave it up to you. Switch to the other side. I'm Scott Frost. I hope you didn't stay with me because I made you feel obligated. I never mind if you guys have to leave early for whatever your reason may be, as long as it's not because of my teaching, then you do you. It's not my business even. I just sometimes I'm like, oh no, it's too hard. Maybe sometimes it's not hard enough. I don't know. All right, and then when you're ready, bring it back to center. Maybe you want one more happy baby. Maybe you want to give your knees one more big squeeze. Maybe you want to rock it out. So anything that your body is calling for about 5 to 7 breaths. And then eventually just find your way into your final relaxation. And if there's any props you want to grab for that, if you want to put a blanket on top of your body or something over your eyes, anything like that, always an invitation to do so. And my thought for you today, this is by Hannah Rowe. And it's called Until I Thought of Myself as the Sea. I used to separate good days from bad days until I thought of myself as an ocean. I used to split times I felt strong from times I felt weak until I imagined myself as the sea. Calm and rocky, wild and soft, still and powerful and vast and more than any one thing. In the ocean, it is hard to divorce one mood from another, one wave from the next. Now, on my worst days, I think of how good life is too, how I can still greet joy while swimming through grief, how fragile strength feels, how I am not any one thing in any one moment on any one day. I am all of it, and all of it is me. So these last few moments, my friends, as you rest in your Shavasana, just feel into all of it, all of that energy inside of you, all of those emotions, those different parts of you, all the different stories you hold inside. And just let your body be the wide open, vast space that holds it all, that allows it all, just like waves in an ocean for these last few moments of class. Shavasana. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. And then start to move through fingers and toes. As you are ready, roll to either side, curl into a fetal position for a moment. Just really let everything, your practice, all the energy from it, let it all just settle inside of you, soak in. And use your arms to guide yourself up into a seated meditation. And invitation, it's 12:58. Invitation to join me in a 1-minute meditation. I'm going to actually even time us today. So, invitation to find something in front of you that is not moving. So, not me, not this computer screen, but look at something in the room you're in and just focus on that one thing. Look at that one thing, not staring at it really, really like intensely, but just a soft gaze, focusing on that one thing. And resist the urge to look at anything else. Resist the impulse to move your eyes to any other place in the space you are in. So I'm just looking at one little spot on the rug in front of me. One little crisscross. And just notice what comes, notice what goes. You just keep looking and focusing on whatever your focus is on. You notice the rise and fall of your breath. You might notice thoughts coming and going. Emotions, energies flowing. You just keep staring softly at this one spot in front of you. Just noticing. And we did it, my friends. That is 1 minute. Go ahead and close your eyes and just bow your heads to your heart. Thank you so much for letting me guide you today. Namaste. All right, guys. Thank you.
That was pretty awesome.
Thanks, Barb.
Loved it.
You acted like you were afraid in the beginning, but then you were like doing extra stuff. I'm all, what the? Barb's crazy.
It's always good to start slow, right?
Yes, yes.
And Katie,
Okay,
I
love
never
you
made
guys.
your
Have a
class.
great rest.
Thanks, Katie.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.